Hi guys, and welcome to Strength Universe. Marvin Eder was one of the most famous bodybuilders of his era. A record-breaking weightlifter and strongman, he would become known as the Biceps from the Bronx. Born on the 22nd of October 1931 in Brooklyn, New York, it would be here that a 14-year-old Marvin was inspired by John Grimmick to start working out, and thus he would perform basic exercises such as pull-ups and dips at his local park. A year later, spurred on by his incredible progress, he joined the Eastside Barbell Club, where he began to train in a combination of weightlifting and bodybuilding. Marvin made such rapid gains that after just 1 year of training, he competed in the Junior Mr. North America contest, where he finished runner-up just behind Johnny Incino. The following year, Marvin returned to compete at and win the title of Junior Mr. North America. Around this time, Marvin joined Abe Goldberg's gym, where with help from Abe, he started to make huge improvements in his bench press. Shortly afterwards, he was featured in a short article in the August 1949 edition of Strength and Health magazine. The article reported that Marvin was 17.5 years old, stood 5 foot 7 inches tall, and weighed just 82 kilograms or 181 pounds. At that time, he could squat 370 pounds for 10 reps, bench press 340 pounds for a double, and perform 3 dips with a 260 pound man hanging from his legs. In that same year, Marvin won the IFBB titles of Mr. New York City, the North American Championships, and finished runner-up at the Junior Mr. America. In 1950, now aged 19 years old, Marvin competed at and won the title of Mr. Eastern America. He also set an unofficial world record in the bench press of 410 pounds. The following year, while at Muscle Beach, Gene Mosey witnessed Eder get into a dispute with the giant Canadian strongman Doug Hepburn, who was considered to be the strongest man in the world at that time and outweighed Marvin by at least 70 pounds. To settle the beef, the opponent started a bench press competition. The unofficial world record was now 420 pounds, but very quickly both men had hit that number. Eder then proceeded to press 430 pounds with strict form, a lift that was matched by Hepburn, who then loaded the bar with 440 pounds, but only succeeded by utilising a huge bounce off his chest. Hepburn would then proceed to perform several other lifts that, to the astonishment of all those present, were mostly matched by Eder. The challenge ended with Marvin doing 10 one-arm chin-ups with his left hand and 11 with his right, something that Doug clearly couldn't match, and thus responded by doing a one-arm handstand. That same year, Marvin competed in bodybuilding for the final time, finishing in 3rd place at the AAU Mr. America and taking 2nd place at the Junior Mr. America. In this final year of competition, Marvin was thought to be nearing his ultimate potential as a bodybuilder. Around this time, Marvin started to record some truly incredible feats of strength, while standing 5 foot 8 inches tall and weighing just under 200 pounds. He is stated to have become the 3rd person in history to achieve a 500 pound bench press, and the first to do so at under 200 pounds in body weight. He would go on to press 515 pounds raw, a lift so impressive that as a junior lifter in his weight class, it would still stand as an unofficial world record even today. He was recorded as hitting a completely raw squat of 665 pounds. That was an unofficial all-time world record until May 1953, and a record that wouldn't be bettered in his age and weight class until 2014. In fact, even today, this would be the 11th heaviest squat of all time. In the deadlift, Marvin was capable of pulling 750 pounds raw, at a time when the world record was held by Bob Peoples at 726 pounds. Marvin's deadlift would stand as an unofficial world record in his age and weight class in tested competition until 2014, and in fact still stands as the 10th heaviest even today. Although it's almost certain that Marvin's bench press, squat and deadlift wouldn't pass the IPF's judging criteria, his theoretical total of 875 kilograms or 1,930 pounds would remain unbeaten for over 60 years. But more on Marvin's incredible strength later in the video. Now in 1952, Marvin had dreams of competing in the Olympics, and at just 21 years old, he was still at least a decade away from his peak. Sadly, his bodybuilding and weightlifting career were cut short due to the politics and rivalry of two of the biggest players in the fitness industry, those being the AAU's Bob Hoffman and the IFBB's Joe Weider. Marvin had previously competed under both bodybuilding federations without issue. However, after he appeared in Weider's magazines, he was invited to Hoffman's house, where it was requested that he portray Joe Weider. However, being a man of integrity, he refused. Shortly afterwards, Hoffman invited Marvin to give an exhibition at one of his shows, where he arranged for him to receive a cheque of $15 on stage, a sly move that effectively made Marvin a professional, and thus eligible to compete in future competitions or the Olympics. Up until the time Marvin retired from bodybuilding and weightlifting in late 1953, he had achieved more outstanding feats of strength, including a dip with two men hanging from his legs weighing a total of 434 pounds, a weight that supersedes the official world record that's held by Matthews Latt at 419 pounds. He officially cleaned and pressed a world record matching 330 pounds, with some reports stating that he'd achieved 345 at the 1953 YMCA Nationals, beating the current record by some 15 pounds. His incredible shoulder strength was further shown in a lateral raise, for which he would use 120-pound dumbbells. All of Marvin's feats of strength that I've outlined in this video are impressive even by today's standards, but considering he achieved them while weighing under 200 pounds and without the use of steroids, he must be considered as the strongest bodybuilder, pound for pound, of all time. Following his retirement from the sport at 23 years old, Marvin focused on starting what would become a successful plumbing business. He would later continue to train, and at 67 years old could still blast out 100 dips and 90 chin-ups, and almost a decade after that, he was still performing 500 crunches and dips with an additional 70 pounds of weight. He sadly passed away on the 1st of February 2022 at 90 years old. That's it for the video, but thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please take a second to hit like, share the video and subscribe for more. Thank you.